Obviously, I just put my album Professional Rapper out July 31st, and I'm touring. It's been like, you know, an interesting tour. Like a lot of funny things have happened, and I'd love to share them with you. There was actually like a 3-day stretch that was probably the most interesting 3-day stretch of my life in terms of just back to back to back, like these days being like really unreal. The day before my LA show, Andre Ethier of the Dodgers invites me to the Dodgers game, and I get to like go on the field like for batting practice and like just like meet all the Dodgers, which was like super cool. Like Chase Utley, for example, you know, I'm from Philadelphia, so I don't get that starstruck by many people, but I like was talking to him, and it was a difficult, like I felt like I was talking to like a really hot girl, and like trying to, like I've never tried so hard to like be so cool. And it was probably like, I feel like I don't know how the conversation went. Like I feel like I blacked out, and like I don't know what he'd say of it, but talking to Chase was great. Like Matt Kemp was there, because they were playing the Padres, and he's on the Padres now, and it's like, not even joking, 3 years ago, me and my friends would like sit around and, you know, have hypothetical conversations like, if you could be one player in baseball, who would you be? And I said Matt Kemp, because he was like center fielder for the Dodgers, dating Rihanna. And then like, you know, when I'm on the field, he runs up to me and like says, Lil Dicky, like, I'm such a big fan, like, please take my number, like, and you gotta text me, like, we gotta hang out. Like, he was borderline, like, not in a bad way, because like the feeling's completely mutual, but begging to hang out with me. I just thought it was so funny, considering like 3 years ago, like I was saying, if I could be one person like in the world, it'd be him. He almost was acting like I was cooler than him, and I had to say like, dude, you're Matt Kemp, like, the pleasure's all mine. So that was one day. The next day, I was at a festival. I did my set. It was like, that's not the eventful part. Waka Flocka Flame had a set after mine, and like, you know, when you do a festival, you can kind of stand side stage afterwards and like see the other acts. I met Waka backstage at the festival before he went on. I went up to him and introduced myself, and he was like, so you're Lil Dicky? So it seemed like he had heard of me, and I said, yeah. And then all of a sudden, he just started Snapchatting, and I was like in his Snapchat, and it was cool. And we just talked, and you know, it wasn't like that eventful of a conversation, but it was just like him being a super nice guy. I think he might be like the best in the world at like the EDM scene. Like he gets like the crowd jumping. So it's like really a crazy atmosphere. It's like 10,000 college kids like jumping at once. I'm side stage. I'm watching in like, you know, sheer amusement, but I'm also like kind of like tired and like texting and zoned out, like not fully paying attention. So I'm just like texting on my phone as he's doing a set. All of a sudden, I feel like 2 huge hands on my shoulders, and it's him in the middle of a set. And he grabs me and he pulls me right in the middle of the stage as the beat is like, you know, it's the climax, like it's like the beat's about to drop, and like 10,000 people are looking at me like to turn up. I don't even know what I did, but like I certainly, like my neck hurt the next day. So like just being thrust into it, I've never been in like that EDM like world, and he kind of just like thrust me into it, and it was like really one of the more memorable moments of my career. So then after that whole thing, like I gave him a big hug, and I said, thank you for giving me that opportunity. Like I've never, like without him, I'm not like an EDM guy. Like I'm never gonna be the guy like leading that EDM concert. But he kind of, for a moment, allowed me to see what that's like. And then he came out with me and like did it, like it was like him shaking his dreads as I shook my fro. What I did ask Waka is, how do you not get tired, like physically? Because I get tired so easily, and I think I'm in reasonable shape. I don't know, he goes really hard for a while. He went out and did another set. He just did another set just to do it. And like I said, he mosh pits. I don't know how, I don't know. I just don't know how you can not get physically tired. I didn't know enough about him before that day, and now the respect I have from him is like sky high. The next day I had a show in LA, and Sacha Baron Cohen was there, and he was so into the show that he invited me to his house the next day, and like so the day after that I'm just literally drinking red wine at Sacha Baron Cohen's house, just like talking about life. The irony is that he did marry a celebrity woman and fell in love, but he was like, don't marry a celebrity, like the paparazzi gets overwhelming, and you're just gonna become a recluse your whole life. And he said that's what Jim Carrey told him, and that's what he's telling me, and I was like, you married a celebrity and you seem to be fully in love, and he was like, I know. But he's just warning me. I have to find out if I can date a celebrity woman. Like I'm gonna like at least see if I have that in me. Like how do you not like try? So I'm gonna try. We'll see what happens.
When Do It came out, I was like, all right, this that time. Then I got fucked in that whole situation. I was like, man, fuck this shit. You know?
So the fans start climbing on the fire escape on the side of the building just to get in, and then they like break through the window.
Finally, he comes up, he's like, what's up? I damn near want you on my album. I'm like,
you start hearing windows, you start hearing glass break. I ain't gonna flat, I got very afraid. It reminded me of Gangland. Cause I had never seen nothing like that coming from Atlanta, Georgia.